My investigation leads us into the tragic story of the greatest animated science fiction series that nobody watched.
How are we looking?
Uploading is on schedule and all ships are present and accounted for, except one, the Demeter 227.
Case number 2605001.
Apparently they rerouted and then, poof, disappeared.
Any word from the crew?
No.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
Current status, cancelled.
What should we do?
I'll inform the bosses, but I doubt they'll sink any resources into trying to find them.
But what if there are survivors?
Well, for their sake, let's hope there aren't any.
How does a show with a perfect Rotten Tomatoes score die so quickly? The victim, Scavengers Reign. The background. Cancelled by HBO Max in May of 2024. Acquired by Netflix with rumors of renewal the same year. Official death, November 2024. Removed from Netflix May 31st, 2026. My investigation leads us into the tragic story of the greatest animated science fiction series that nobody watched. Although there is evidence that dates all the way back to 2016, there are very few witness statements related to the crime scene. If not for a small few, this show may have gone entirely unnoticed. This will make the investigation difficult, but I'll follow the trace evidence wherever it leads to find justice for our victim by putting you directly into the story. But the life and death of Scavengers Reign begins with a very important question. What the hell is Scavengers Reign? Every investigation starts here, the crime scene. You are a crew member in deep space aboard the interstellar cargo freighter Demeter 227. Something goes wrong. The ship is damaged. You and your crewmates abandon the ship in escape pods that crash land on the planet Vesta. A world filled with vibrant colors and beauty, but also danger.
Thank Christ. Shit. Fuck.
The show was created by Joseph Bennett and Charles Huttner, two animators who made a 7-minute short film called Scavengers back in 2016. It had no dialogue, just a person on an alien planet trying to survive. And it was so visually extraordinary, so genuinely unlike anything else in animation, that HBO Max greenlit a full 12-episode series for it. October 2023. Max releases a 12-episode adult animated sci-fi series called Scavengers Reign. Critics lose their minds. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. The New York Times calls it a gorgeous, hypnotic space trip. Animation fans, sci-fi fans, anyone who stumbled across it immediately grabbed the nearest person and said, "You have to watch this."
Fucking punk. You think you can go behind my back like that?
May 2024. Max cancels Scavengers Reign. Netflix acquires it soon after. Fans exhale. Surely now, with Netflix's global reach, their algorithm, their recommendation engine, surely now the audience finds the show. News of a possible new season on Netflix brings momentary relief to the fans. But within months, it's officially reported that there will not be another season on Netflix. Official time of death, November 2024.
Must have been the storm that got him. Or something else. I guess it couldn't have been anything out here, right?
A show with a perfect critical score, a show that was almost universally loved by every person who watched it. A show that two of the largest streaming platforms in the world decided wasn't worth keeping.
Sam, come look!
The question isn't whether it was good. We already know it was good. The question is, why did nobody watch it? And the answer to that question is buried in the evidence. So let's look at the evidence. The first piece is the show itself, because once you understand what Scavengers Reign actually is, how it was built, what it was going for, who it was made for, the cancellation starts to make a terrible kind of sense. The premise is deceptively simple. You are a crew member on an interstellar cargo freighter called the Demeter 227. Something goes wrong. The ship is damaged. You and your crewmates must use the escape pods to abandon the ship in hopes of surviving on an alien planet.
Come on! Let's go! Let's go! We gotta get off this ship! This way! Come on, move it!
Now here is where every other show would give you a familiar alien world, some weird rocks, a creature that becomes your companion, maybe a humanoid species with a cultural conflict you can project Earth politics onto. Not Scavengers Reign. The Demeter has crash-landed on Vesta, a fully realized ecosystem where every plant, every creature, every organism is part of a food chain that has never before encountered humans. The planet doesn't know what humans are, and it doesn't care whether any of these people survive. Why so much focus on the planet? Trust the evidence, my friends. It will show you why it's important. Scavengers Reign has an animation style inspired by a French comic artist that doesn't try to look photorealistic. It isn't trying to be comfortable. This is a show that made a deliberate choice to look unlike anything else on television, and then trusted its audience to meet it there. But that trust is the first piece of the puzzle revealing why it struggled, because trusting your audience is a risk that requires patience.
Did you do this?
Yes.
For what purpose?
I just thought it looked nice.
You see, media on streaming platforms live and die by the first 30 seconds of a new viewer's experience. Such a short window isn't ideal for shows that ask you to be patient. Scavengers Reign is one of these shows, but patience here doesn't go unrewarded, and the evidence for that is buried within the three storylines at its core.
Sorry, I lost you for a moment. I would prefer it if you didn't shut me off unless I'm experiencing some kind of critical malfunction.
Oh, sorry, Levi. I was just concerned about what was happening to you.
What might appear strange to you is not necessarily a malfunction.
What do you mean?
The world shares things with me that I couldn't possibly experience by myself. Things that are far beyond what's right in front of me. But when you shut me off, I see nothing. Feel nothing.
The show follows three groups of survivors, all separated on Vesta, all trying to find the Demeter and get off this planet. And each group's story functions almost as its own genre. You have the survival story with Ozzy, a cargo specialist, where she is driven by a single goal: make it back to the ship, because somebody important is there. Joined by the ship's robot companion trying to keep Ozzy alive, you're given a story with emotional depth through not just Ozzy, but also the robot, Levi.
Levi, what was that?
What was what?
The sounds you just made, where did those come from?
I don't know, actually. They just came to me. I'm sorry, Ozzy. I don't know why I sang that.
It's okay. It's more than okay, actually. I think you might be the first Levi to have written music.
Is that what I did?
I think so, Levi. I think so.
Then you have Sam, the commander of the Demeter, and Ursula, the ship's horticulturalist. This is your odd couple in a strange place. They argue constantly and frustrate each other, but they also need each other because while Ursula is studying Vesta's biology, Vesta is also learning more about them.
Sam, what the hell? I thought you were gonna tell me if this got worse.
Lastly, there is Cayman, lost on Vesta for weeks, all alone, isolated, and with so much to enjoy about this series, Cayman's story is the heart of the show that will stick with you. but going deeper into all of these stories is classified. However, you'll need that classified information to fully understand the scope of my investigation. So I'm about to share restricted testimony not meant for the general public.
Hey, I picked up a distress call. I think it's coming from the planet.
If you want to avoid potential litigation and prosecution by the Sci-Fi PD, skip ahead to the next chapter. You've been warned. The most important piece of evidence in this entire case is a creature called Hollow. Hollow is a telepathic, telekinetic organism that Kamen encounters in his isolation. It can enter his mind, access his memories, and feed him hallucinations of his wife and life before the crash. Everything he's lost. At first, it seems almost gentle, curious, even kind. And Kamen, alone, broken, and desperate, he welcomes this. Kamen's arc introduces human greed and gluttony to life on Vesta. Think about that carefully. Hollow isn't corrupted by a villain. There is no evil plan. Hollow is an organism that has never encountered a human being, and what it learns from Kamen is greed, resentment, the human need to feel powerful when you feel powerless. Kamen doesn't corrupt Hollow through malice. He corrupts it through ordinary human weakness. And watching that transformation, a curious creature becoming something genuinely sinister, not because it chose evil, but because it learned it from us, is one of the most original horror arcs in recent animation.
Fuck you, Sam!
Now, Sam.
Make sure you lock onto the signal. There, see?
Sam undergoes a biological transformation on Vesta. I'm not going to walk through it step by step, but the show depicts it through the same flat, deliberate animation that makes the creature designs work.
Sam, stop!
What?
What the hell is that?
What are you talking about? Ursula, what is happening to me?
I don't know.
It is body horror handled with complete restraint. Nothing gratuitous. Everything purposeful. And by the time you understand what happened to him and what he chooses to do about it, the show has said something profound about adaptation, survival, and what it means to belong.
Goodbye, Sam.
And then there's the ending. The ending of Scavengers Reign Season 1 is not a cliffhanger. It doesn't end on an explosion or a revelation or a villain monologue. It ends on a choice. A human being standing on an alien planet deciding who they are and what they are willing to become, and how that choice affects others and the planet.
Sorry, kid.
3 months later, Max canceled it. This is what the evidence tells us. Scavengers Reign didn't fail because it was bad. It failed because it was built for a specific kind of viewer. Patient, curious, willing to sit inside discomfort and let a show work on them slowly. And streaming platforms' entire infrastructure is designed to find the opposite. Fast hooks, familiar formats, comfortable genre signaling. So, it got lost. Not because the audience didn't exist, but because the algorithm couldn't find us, and we couldn't find the show. And by the time word of mouth started building, the platforms had already made their decisions.
I'll handle it.
Joe Bennett posted on Instagram after the Netflix decision not to pick up Scavengers Reign for another season. He shared what season 2 would have looked like. New creatures, new biomes, a continuation of every thread the first season left open. It sounded extraordinary, and we're not going to see it. This is not a story about a show that failed. This is a story about a show that was never properly introduced to the people who would have loved it. And those people? They're watching videos like this one, right now. They're the people who search for hidden gems, canceled shows, underrated sci-fi. They're the people who stuck around past the algorithm's recommendation and found something that changed how they think about what animation can do. The evidence documented in this case makes it clear. Scavengers Reign is not just a canceled show. It's an undiscovered one. But the audience exists. You're part of it. The crime was not the cancellation. The crime was invisibility. And that's the one crime we can actually do something about. So when you love a film or a series that isn't mainstream enough for everyone to know about it, tell them. Or else you'll have another amazing space show that nobody watches. Case closed.